ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 16th episode of the Company of Gamers podcast. How are you all doing this evening? I hope you are all doing well. It's great that you're all here, my dudes in the chat. Shout out to those who are currently in the chat right now. Dark Queen Gaming, Shaky Shako, HD Gamer. What's good? There are more. I'm just getting a few things set up for you guys. As there we go. You'll have to forgive me, folks. Today I'm not feeling 100%. CJ UK, shout out to you, my dude. Hey CJ, I know it's a little short notice, and I know you're a bit sleepy, but if you want to jump on tonight, we have quite an empty panel, so yeah, you're always welcome if you want to jump on. Feel free to let me know. I can DM you a link. So we're going to be carrying this with just a handful of people tonight, my dudes. But we've got the awesome Wilhelm with us right now, and hopefully DZ will be joining us shortly, which will be great. Shout out to Toolman, CJ UK. It's great to see you guys here, Mr. Buck Roger. Thank you for being here, my dudes. So yeah, it's a little bit of a more chilled out one. I'm not feeling 100%, so I've been in bed most of the day. So you'll have to forgive any lack of preparedness on my part, but the show must go on. And we must get this show on the road. Please let me know how the audio is. How is the audio sounding? Hope it's sounding good. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm just going to quickly get some gameplay running for you guys. I know how you all love your gameplay. Here's a bit of Halo for you to trigger a few ponies, you know. I'm just kidding. Don't know why this isn't showing the full thing. Bear with me. Hold on, let me fix this. So on our panel so far tonight, we have Wilhelm. What's good, my bro?
I'm doing well. Currently, I've recently finished Quake. You know, the original Quake by id Software.
Yeah.
And yeah, and what can I say? I absolutely loved it. Like I'm so glad that I developed a passion for old school shooters. I actually developed that kind of love because of a YouTuber. Do you know the YouTuber Civi11?
No, I don't.
Civi11 makes a ton of like his entire content is like basically doing comedic reviews of these 90s boomer shooters, you know, like your Quake, Doom, etc. And thanks to him, I actually have gotten into these kind of games. Like, wouldn't it be for him, I would have probably like touched Duke Nukem or Doom 2 much later, or if at all. Like, he actually like poked my interest. So I just started checking these games out, and I have developed an absolute love and obsession for these kind of games. I've finished the Duke Nukem 3D, the original Doom games. Nach det podcast. Sorry, my dad walked in.
Oh, no worries.
And yeah, now I've beaten id Software's Quake, and what can I say? It's an amazing game. It's also quite impressive if you put into regard that Quake was actually originally supposed to be Daikatana. You know Daikatana?
Mm-hmm.
Like Daikatana was originally supposed to be Quake, or Quake was originally supposed to be Daikatana, but the development was so
Really? Wow.
difficult. Development was difficult though, because you know id Software was used to make those shooters, and then than something that ambitious, because Daikatana had like RPG elements, time travel, and all.
Hmm.
It it,
For those
it
who
took a
don't know
bit of
what Daikatana is, I'll just show you some gameplay now for you guys.
and
Um,
because that kind of stuff takes a little more time than a shooter. Id Software thought to themselves, fuck it, let's make Doom, but make it 3D, and then they just put it all together in a couple of months. And regarding that, it was just a bit of a slapdash job, because they were getting a little bit exhausted with the original project, so they just made that decision like kind of on the fly. Is actually kind of impressive, because Quake is still to this day like one of the holy grails of like the boomer shooters, and still regarded as one of the most important games ever made, because it's also one of the first 3D games, and if I'm not mistaken, even the first 3D shooter.
yeah. Oh shit!
Also,
I tell you what, I'm looking at it now, and these visuals, the lighting in particular, it's pretty impressive for Daikatana.
yeah,
Um,
actually, Daikatana, when it came out, it actually was seen as kind of outdated, because Daikatana was using the Quake 2 engine, and that engine also got kind of overshadowed by the Unreal Engine.
hmm.
And with Daikatana, if you don't know, Daikatana's kind of seen as some kind of mistake. Like, it's a pretty infamous game. It's
Really?
many people tell you, yeah, it's very infamous. A lot of people don't like that game, and its issues are that it happened after John Romero, one of the guys at one of the geniuses of the original Doom, left its software, because he wanted to focus on that dream project of his, and so he began developing Daikatana with his own studio, Eidos Games, I think they were called,
See,
and
it's not looking too bad from my perspective. It looks
yeah,
pretty dope, if I'm honest.
like
I'm surprised.
yeah, it's regarded like as not that good of a game. People really don't like it. One of the main complaints people have are actually also the AI companions, because these AI companions are necessary to progress through the game, but the AI really is not that great. They constantly get stuck on level geometry and stuff like that, and you always need them to come with you to the finish line in order to progress through a level. And the reason why Daikatana turned out the way it did was because they were first developing the game on the Quake 1 engine, but then when the Quake 2 engine came out, when Quake 2 came out, and then they used the Attack 2, I believe the engine was called.
Hmm.
Romero wanted to switch to that engine, because he really wanted to make Daikatana, look like hot shit. He wanted it to be, the absolute tits. But that ultimately really messed the whole development cycle up, because they originally wanted to, I think, release that game 98 or 99. They were already 90% finished with it on the Quake 1 engine. But then when they wanted to swap that over to Quake 2 engine, they of course had to scrap things over again. The project got delayed multiple times, so they pretty much had to do a rush job, which is why Daikatana has is a little bit unpolished.
Hmm.
So that's the infamous story to
No
Daikatana.
way, bro. I feel like I've just learnt about a whole new game I never knew it even existed. I'd heard the name, but I'd never kind of saw what the game looked like or saw the gameplay. I had no idea what it was. For all I knew, it was a side scroller 8-bit slasher.
That was
So,
the Game Boy version. That was version on the Game Boy
oh,
Advance, I believe. The original PC version is an FPS.
yeah, yeah, like Doom-esque.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, shout out to Shaky Shako. He was very very enthusiastically seeing me.
He was what, very enthusiastic to see you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
enthusiastic. Yeah. That
yeah,
was
yeah,
that was what I meant. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, Shaky Shako is like one of the most enthusiastic dudes I know. To be fair, and speaking of enthusiastic, CJUK has put Yo DZ the hero in the house. Yes, indeed, Sir DZ the hero. He's
Yeah,
like Black
I'm the
Superman for
hero.
fire.
Shut up, bro. Shut up. How's everybody doing?
It's great to see you, my dude. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was just taking in that history lesson on a game I didn't even know existed. So thanks for that, bro.
Ah, no problem, man. If you want information about boomer shooters, I'm your man.
Awesome stuff. Me and this is a bit of Halo gameplay. Me and shout out to why have I forgotten his name? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not feeling too great today. I've been in bed most of the afternoon,
Oh yeah, I know, man.
and so my head's not really working very well. Coke Boy J on Xbox. What's his name on Twitter? Dope is J. Dope is J. There we go. Me and Dope is J playing some Halo together. So yeah, here's some gameplay for you guys, and got some other pretty cool gameplay. Check out, guys. Check out XO1, and I don't know if it's on PlayStation. It's on Xbox and it's on PC. I bought it on Steam for like 12 quid. But it's a phenomenal 2.5 hour long experience. You can probably beat it in an
Isn't
hour.
that what no, that isn't Crossfire. I was thinking about Crossfire, the single player for Crossfire that
Yeah.
Remedy was working on, but no.
You'll be seeing some pretty spectacular gameplay of a game, and shortly when I'll be playing it for you guys, and you'll be like, what on earth is this game? And that's XO1. It's pretty cool. It's a very zen game in a similar vein to Journey, but more epic in scope. I'd say that's the best way I can put it. But DZ, despite me not feeling too well, feeling a bit down in the dumps right now, and being in bed, just hearing your voice, bro, it kind of puts a smile on my face. It's great to see you here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
It's
thanks
great
for
to be
coming
here
on.
too.
So what have you been playing, man? How's your day been?
So I have been getting back to the gym. Fourth day today. I took yesterday off.
Nice.
Did legs day today, so like I'm freaking shattered today as well. Um, just did some laundry, but I have been getting a chance to go through Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut because I have some free time, and I've been enjoying getting back into that. I've just gotten to Act 2, but I haven't gotten to Iki Island yet.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
kind of want
I
to
still need to get to that point.
I kind of want to take my time, much like because I got the platinum on PlayStation 4. But a funny story. When Ghost of Tsushima came out, I was already here in the UK, and the version that I bought was a UK version, um, and I bought that digitally. So when I tried to convert my save from the from the UK store to the US store, it fucked everything up.
Oh shit.
So I have to basically I'm starting base this is basically a brand new game that I'm starting on the PlayStation 5, and I couldn't carry it over because I bought the director's cut from the US PlayStation store because I have a digital PS5. So
Right.
um yeah.
That sucks, man. But at the same time, at least you get to experience it all over again. If ever you need a buddy to play a bit of Legends with, just give us a shout.
Legends.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, man.
give
Hell
us a
yeah.
shout. I'll
I
come down
still,
there.
I still, I still enjoy running through Legends. As a matter of fact, I still have to finish, the Tales of Eo raid. Um,
Yeah.
because I've only gotten to chapter 3 of it,
Mm-hmm.
but never finished it. Chapter 2 is like 6 hours long, laborious,
Yeah.
tough shit.
For real. For real. It's a bit of a grind, but I'll tell you what, it's got some phenomenal customization and
Oh yeah,
yeah, cosmetics. Hats off to them for really making you feel like you've earned your stripes. You know.
yeah.
100%.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has the director's cut some additional cosmetics or
You what? Will say that again, mate?
if the director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima has some additional customization, or
Yeah,
Um,
it does. It has some extra skins and stuff, some extra costumes and cosmetics you can
it's
buy
cool because
using this floral currency.
yeah, I
Um,
know because I've beaten the original Ghost of Tsushima when it came out on PS4, and I also like love the customization, the
yeah,
armor types and all. It's a pretty badass game.
yeah. I'm
oh man, yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys quickly whilst we're here this build that I created.
Is
Um,
this the poison one?
yeah,
The one that
I'm
that
so
you took a
proud.
year to respond to me for.
Oh shit! Yeah, I finally responded. Uh,
Yeah, I messaged him about this a year ago because I saw it and I was just like, "How the fuck did you get that?"
How
And
did I get so
this
OP?
man literally took a whole year and responded, thinking that it was a brand new thing. And then when he realized it, he was just like, "Oh shit, DZ. Oh shit, I'm sorry, bro. This took." I'm like, "Yeah, it took you a whole year, but it's all good."
It's all good. I'm sorry, my bro. Oh dear me. Don't know if you guys can see it very clearly here, but I'm gonna show you guys this anyway. Here's the volume. So these guys literally start vomiting one after the other, just falling around me and running away or dying. It's like it's so I haven't hit a single person. Look at them. Oops, crap. Let me fast forward. Bring this back for you guys. Here we go. So they're all falling and dying and terrified. Now watch this. This guy jumps off the bridge. I shit you not. Ready? Oh shit! He just dived off the bridge, bro. It was crazy. I'd never seen the AI react in that way before. Where he was on a bridge, I set him on fire, and then threw a sticky bomb at him, and he
So as
jumped
you
off
can
the
see,
bridge.
guys, you can absolutely
The AI does some pretty strange and funny shit, and sometimes even surprising stuff. Um, During the like thing, like I just recently posted this video where I've beaten the game and I've rated this. I've beaten the game like 3 times on PlayStation 4, and I've never seen rate while rating a Mongol territory or a Mongol camp. I've never seen 2 bears attack at the same time, just roaming and attacking. And 2 bears literally roamed into their camp, fucked shit up, and I was just watching this shit. And
Yeah,
I was just like, holy shit.
nuts.
So like, they do. My bad. They do some. The AI can be pretty unpredictable with the algorithms it spawns to do some certain things, and I'm just like, I enjoy it.
Bro, it's something else. But yeah, with that build, guys, I would recommend you try it out. You literally feel like a god. And what you do is you have the ghost armor, which automatically increases the chance of enemies to become fearful by 30%, right? On top of that, have charm of toxic demise, which gives your arrows a I think it's a 30% chance to cause an enemy to be poisoned and vomit, right, and die, instant death. It doesn't matter what your second major charm is, but these 4 are the bonus, right? Because the Yuriko's Keepsake literally increase the chance of any chance percentage is increased by 50%. So times that by 2, that's 100%. So that 30% chance to poison an enemies is now 60%, right? And then the Charm of Fortune does something else, which basically boosts the chance to not only poison enemies even more, but the chance of enemies becoming fearful as well is increased on top of all of that. So in short, it just makes you this walking bogeyman and makes everybody terrified of you. And it adds such a crazy, interesting dynamic to the gameplay. I'd really recommend you check it out and sandbox that. So take a screenshot of that. So the Charm of Toxic Demise, Yuriko's Keepsakes, and Charm of Fortunes, all equipped. And you can,
while wearing the ghost armor.
Whilst wearing the ghost armor, yes. It is the most OP build you can ever build in the game, and I thought it all up myself. I'm really proud of it.
He's got a noggin in there somewhere, guys.
I know. I gotta give myself props, for this.
Hell yeah.
But look at it, bro. It's crazy how enemies just fall around you out of fear, and it's not loading now, whatever. But yeah, it's interesting stuff, bro. It's pretty awesome. Thank you, baby. Thank you. So yeah, we've got a great show ahead of us, guys. Even though it's quite an intimate one, because the rest of the panel isn't here. I don't know where some are, but I know that some can't make it. OT, he can't make it as he's got busy dad duties, so shout out to him. Hats off to him as well. He's got a beautiful baby girl, and he's working hard, looking after his newborn daughter tonight, and he's rising up early for work tomorrow. So unfortunately for him, being 2 hours later than me, what's 9:30 currently for me is 11:30 for him. So obviously, he can't make all nights, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But thank you to you, Will, and you, DZ, for being here, and to everyone in the chat. Let's get the show on the road. We've got an exciting show ahead of us, and it's mostly to discuss what we attempted to discuss last week, but I botched it. I messed it all up. God damn it, Wooly. You had one job, and what did you do? I completely lost track of where we were in the console review, and we didn't do it justice because we only covered one of 3 aspects. But for the sake of it, we'll recap over the first aspect as well and go over our thoughts. But we wanted to kind of dissect the 9th generation of consoles into 3 segments. Do you want to give us the rundown of that? DZ?
Sure. If I could remember, this is just a rundown of the first year from launch 2020 to their each platform's November 2021. If I remember correctly, the first category was software deployment for each first year house out the strength of their first party, basically, and launching software from November 2020 to November 2021. The second category was their services and infrastructure, things that they've done to bolster their network offerings in 2020 throughout this year. And then, of course, I'm having mind blanks right now. If you could tell me what the third category is, Willie. I know you have it written down somewhere.
It's
huh?
Yeah, I can indeed. It's how the hardware was utilized.
Yeah. how the hardware was utilized. So basically, um, those feature sets, things that made each of the platforms stand out um, by the use of the first party. So, DualSense, was that good? How was the cloud utilized for an Xbox title? Was the OLED or the Switch used to its full capacity? How was the graphics displayed? That kind of stuff. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I think we touched on just the first portion, and I think, but oh shit, oh shit. Um,
You okay?
yeah, we had, sorry, I was not necessarily playing something, but I just sat something down and it slipped and almost fell to the floor. So that was almost, yeah, that was almost bad. But yeah, we had touched on it last week, and I'd given I'd said that on a letter grading scale of A B C D E, I'm sorry, A B C D and F, I could not see myself giving neither PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo anything higher than a B. For me, I gave PlayStation a B plus on its first party offerings. And that's not to say that it was a bad year or it was above average. I would agree that PlayStation's offering in its first year has been the strongest it's ever been. Um, it certainly supersedes the PlayStation 2. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. It certainly supersedes the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, especially. Um, their first party delivered on a number of titles. We had dedicated PlayStation 4 dedicated PlayStation 5 software like a Ratchet and Clank, a Demon Souls, Destruction All Stars, uh, Returnal. You guys know how I feel about that game. And then we had patter. We had, I wouldn't say filler, but nice. We had some very nice sprinkles of games that came back from yesteryear that came back and helped flushed out the software library for PlayStation with
Demon
Ghost of
Souls.
Tsushima and um, I mean, yeah, we had Ghost of Tsushima, we had Final Fantasy Intergrade, we had the Neo Collection 1 and 2 that were remastered. We had Death Stranding. So like those are pretty strong games from 2020, and they were all brought into the new gen and performed even better, and we're utilizing some of those features. So. Yeah, it was a pretty good year from the first party side, and then of course I'd say that the third party and second party support that they got as well was fantastic. But like the most notable games that we were hoping for to close out the year, you know, we got delays of them. Uh, Forbidden West, um, Gran Turismo 7. So those kind of stuff. It's it's when you take in the delays that happened and look at the fact that we got a couple of remasters to help pad out the year, even though those remasters came with additional content. Um, we still ended up getting only just a handful of dedicated PlayStation 5 games. And so, on that strength and the delivery that they've given, with everything like that taken into thought, I could only give Sony a B plus, and that's really really good for them. And then in the same light, Nintendo has had some pretty stellar things throughout the year as well. But if we take into consideration, they've had a number of re-releases and additional content. They started out the year with Bowser's Fury, which much the same, much the same way, like a director's cut. It was Super Mario 3D for Switch with Bowser's Fury, additional content and whatnot. But they had Metroid, which I think is my favorite Switch game, and then of course they had remakes for Pearl for Pokemon this year. And what year of Nintendo isn't good without a Pokemon game? Isn't complete
That's
without
No
a
More Heroes
Pokemon game?
3.
And of course they had No More Heroes, and then they also had Shin Megami Tensei 5. So yeah, another strong year for Nintendo. They released new hardware as well, even though it was more of a deluxe edition, so to speak, a Switch DLC, as I call it, with the Nintendo Switch OLED. So yeah, with even that taken into consideration, all their heavier hitters are also due out next year. So keeping that in mind, I could only give Nintendo a B plus in that sense. And for Microsoft, and this is just me being the objective fair game, I'd consider them a C. If they never had Forza or Halo this year, it would have been an F. But Forza honestly saved the grade for them. It is a fantastic fucking game.
If only I could freaking play it.
So like,
play it. I'm angry.
I mean, I don't do the PC game shit, so like, I probably won't.
I know.
I've been saying a long time that I was gonna get a gaming PC but like, I have my PC for making games and whatnot, for because that's the environment that we build our games in. But like, I just can't be bothered with the PC thing, and like, there's no offense to the PC MCRs in here and the PC fans.
Come on, DZ, join us.
No offense to you guys, but like, I just love to sit on my damn couch and play something on a big screen, and that hook up and play experience of the console for me will forever be king. I'm not obsessed with 240 frames per second or anything like that. Like you guys know me, I love my cinematic story, so like, I play that shit. I'm good at 30 FPS. I'm good with 60 FPS now that that's more of a standard thing here on the new gen. Xbox really has with the addition of Forza really has been able to showcase, as I've said, what the Series X is capable of at its best, and showing off Forza that way, was fantastic. So like, it's a game that I still dabble into on my Series S, and people may laugh and wonder, why do I have a Series S when I could have gone for it. I'm just like saying, I have the money for it and I could go for it, but I already have a PlayStation, and for me, that is the premium console that I want, and I don't necessarily need anything else from the Xbox camp that's going to surprise me or wow me. I think the Series S is a capable machine, and everything going forward with it, for me, hits that sweet spot of high end to mid, and then to the low end with the Switch. So like, all my boxes are ticked in terms of the content I want to play, or if I see something nice I could go treat myself. And that's basically how I've been going about things. And do not ask for my gamer tag on that because I play offline, primarily, with the um, yeah, I play primarily offline with the Series S, simply because I just find that extreme fan base a little bit too much on the toxic side for me. So I just kind of go solo. Most of the games that I want, that I got the
Peasant
Series S
noob.
for,
You peasant noob. You suck at
it,
games.
the most of the games that I got, most of the things that I got the system for, are the single player experiences that I know are coming to it. So like, um,
Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark, Hellblade 2, um, you know, everything else, Avowed, um, just those kind of games that I've always been drawn to as a PlayStation gamer. They're starting to bring those back to the Xbox platform, and that's what I'm excited for. So,
Awesome.
uh, yeah, so yeah, Xbox gets a C. Forza carried. Playground Games has been carrying that entire
Console
console.
generation.
They, yeah, for the entire generation, to be quite honest. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Awesome. We did last week. It ended up with the entire panel that was on. Nintendo Switch, interestingly, just won the software review score. It might be different this time round with a different,
Uh,
smaller
I
panel,
think we could honor that.
but
I
yeah,
think we could honor that one.
it was
Me
honourable,
too.
100%. It was definitely. I think it balanced out where PlayStation averaged a B minus, and Nintendo averaged a B. Nintendo Switch, so which is kind of I'd say that's pretty respectable in all honesty, because
Yeah.
I think 2021 let PS5 down a bit. It started off with an absolute whopper with a huge bang,
I mean,
but
yeah.
2021 has been a little bit dry for PlayStation, in my opinion. It's been good, it's been solid, but it's not been anything to write home about. But 2022 is where the juicy stuff is at. I'm sure you would agree.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
but yeah, looking forward to
And
Warhammer
they've
40K.
got surprises too, much like they've had surprises this year.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I'm still 100% certain that we're gonna be getting not only a huge reveal in December. I'm convinced it's Metal
mhm.
Gear Solid, but
uh,
it might not be. It might be something else, and I'll gladly take the L. But I will not take the L. Um, in there not being a huge announcement of a remake. I'm convinced a remake is being announced. That is a PlayStation exclusive. So watch the
I'm pretty
space.
sure we're gonna get plenty. We're gonna get plenty of surprise releases in the. I mean, like December is all. December we always get new announcements from the Game Awards, and like 2019 PlayStation announced Godfall. Um, uh, Godfall was announced, and then 2020 Seasons was announced. Um, uh, for PlayStation 5. And then, of course, we got the look at all the other games that came out. And then, of course, we got, like I said, surprise announcements from a Ghost of Tsushima remaster and a Death Stranding. And people have been like that entire year from 2020, you people have been harassing Kojima and Guerrilla Games. Where's the
Mm-hmm.
60? Where's the fucking 60 frames per second patch for PlayStation? Where is it? Where the fuck is it? And then
They just drop
we
it.
get it, and they just drop it just like that. So like, um, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get all that. We're
They
gonna
do
get
tend
more of
to
that.
understate what they bring, don't they? They very
Hmm.
understatedly kind of just oh, there you go. When it's something like people losing their fucking minds, like, holy shit, this is amazing, and PlayStation is just like, oh, there we go. It's,
exactly.
Whereas, I mean, Xbox, Microsoft, they'd pitch a 60 FPS update for like it's huge headline, and PlayStation just here's your Last of Us 2 at 60 FPS, whatever,
they just drop it in a small blog post while talking about
oh, by the way,
they'll
FYI.
be talking about FYI, same thing with that they did throughout the year. Days Gone got this, and then they did it for God of War, and it just came just like that. And then here's your Last of Us 2, and then everything else that they announced as well. So yeah, it's PlayStation. They do a very understated approach to these minor things, and I dig that they don't make such a big deal about certain stuff. What I do wish they would do, though, is like they would take an approach the same way Kojima does his refocus when he does his remasters and whatnot. Like, he gives us features from the PC edition brought onto the console. So, like, for me, I would consider Death Stranding's PlayStation 5 remaster so much more adept than Ghost of Tsushima's PlayStation 5 remaster, because it isn't just a resolution bump. You get texture. You get a texture bump in quality as well. You get some PC features like the ultra widescreen, and you get the extra added performance, and then of course on top of that you got all the
DLC.
All the DLCs and everything else. So it's like there's definitely attention to detail here with how
they even redesigned some of the geometry, replaced assets, and
so yeah, there's definite I wish Santa Monica and Sucker Punch and even Naughty Dog. But I'm just gonna be quiet on Naughty Dog and what they're doing, because I'm hearing things. I've heard things. Yeah, I've heard things out of the grapevine of what they have, something they have coming next year that goes beyond what they've done. Yeah, definitely what they've done beyond the remaster that they're doing for Uncharted. There's something else coming down the line next year that I've heard. I'll wait for them. I'll wait for them to talk about it.
This isn't the Last of Us remake, right? This is something else.
I'll just say, I'll talk. This is what I'll say. I will dish on it when, as I've always done, to protect my sources and to protect the integrity of everything, much like I did with Fire Sprite and whatnot. I'll talk more about it, but there is something that I think fans are going to be super excited for. Awesome. And they're going about it much more in depth than just a standard remaster, so to speak.
So The Last of Us 2 remastered using the Last of Us 2 engine, and it features Kratos, guaranteed. And yeah,
what I say is when I say is
Lev and Atreus kill loads of Draugrs,
and they meet Charlie Sheen on the way as an NPC who gives additional missions.
Absolutely, and Charlie Sheen's in it as well. Facts confirmed. You heard it first here. It's an exclusive to Company Gamers podcast.
You guys are wild.
No, that sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah. So yeah,
But you know, I caught you out
20...
a little bit. You said it goes beyond the traditional remaster. We caught you. It's talking. You are talking about a remaster of The Last of Us, but obviously pushing the boat.
But it's a secret.
But it's our secret. Okay.
Little secret. No one besides us and these 16 viewers live know about it.
Facts. It's unofficially confirmed here, guys. Okay. But sorry to point that out, DZ, bro. We caught you out a little bit. Yeah. Are you okay? We haven't DZ, are you there?
I think he's smashing a few things at home.
Oh no.
Bring some massage. Okay. DZ sources, DZ's a good man. He hasn't told us nothing.
He told us nothing, okay? I take that back. Take that back. No, but on a serious note, come on. How many people have been talking about a remaster of The Last of Us? Everybody.
Guys, can I come back in? Only I just got a call from my partner, and yeah. I'll jump back in. Just give me a second.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem, my dude.
No, imagine that being like kind of like a Seinfeld thing, you know? He's like calling his partner and being like, they called out my sources, Jerry. They called out their source. They called out my sources, Jerry.
I love it. So whilst we're waiting for DZ to come back, just to let you guys know, I have a little bit of news, a bit interesting. I'm currently friends on PlayStation with none other than Hassan Karaman himself. We've been talking in the DMs, and I'm now in this party, and I'm not saying anything that breaks NDA, but I will just say that I have the privilege of getting to see his work prior to the majority of other people, and even play
Has he seen our invitation to the podcast?
Yeah,
he's still invited.
He's got shitloads of invites, and to be honest, it was just one more invite of many that he's received. So I don't think him coming on the podcast is going to happen anytime soon. But Shaky, I'm pretty damn certain, and I'm not in on any conspiracy. He is not Kojima. He's not an actor. I'm pretty sure that he is just an indie dev with a team trying to really push the boat out with something very exciting for PlayStation. However, do I believe Hideo Kojima is making a Silent Hill game? Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, the writing's on the wall. He's written so much about and posted so much about Silent Hills. People were just conflating the two. Yeah, and, you know, it is what it is. But I will say that Hassan's he strikes me as a very, just a normal dude who, I asked him quite a load of questions about the kind of the outrage surrounding the title and the confusion and all the coincidences and and all that lot. And I had a really good chat with him. But what I will say is, whatever I'm allowed to reveal and whatever I'm allowed to say, I will. But I'll always run it by him first, because I don't wanna break his trust or anything. But yeah, just randomly added me one day on Twitter, and I was like, holy shit, yeah.
Guy forgets his roots. I invited him, yet he still hasn't added me. Disgusting.
I love it, Will. I love it. I still need to convince Saltiest Gaming to get you on his show too.
Salty, what the hell? I'm a hard worker. I'm a hard working man, Salty.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're not a boy anymore. You're 17. I mean, it's time that we start viewing you as a man, not as a boy. No, I agree.
Give me work. I'm tired of standing in the parking lot.
I love it. You'll have to bleep that section, Wooly. Okay. All right, HD. I will. I'll figure out how to do it. Maybe you can DM me how to bleep sections so that we don't. We omit the bit where DZ kind of reveals it is a remaster. You know. Oh, and I'll delete. I'll keep that bit as well.
We haven't said anything. We haven't said anything.
No. Just cough and sneeze every time I mention a remaster. Oh shit. Yeah.
We mean GTA Definitive Trilogy.
Facts. We're talking about the GTA trilogy this whole time.
Vice City 2.
Facts. What was I gonna say? Oh, by the way, dudes, just to let you all know, before we continue this review of the 9th generation, we have a big giveaway tonight. $50 PSN vouchers.
$50.
50 schmackaroos. 25 of which was generously donated by Demetrius, an avid fan of the show and watcher. So thank you, Demetrius. That's extremely kind of you. He actually did it as a thank you for him winning.
Metroid Dread?
Winning Metroid Dread. Yeah, he won Metroid Dread. It was picked at random by DZ. And as a thank you, he wanted to show appreciation for the podcast by donating $25. So thank you very much, Demetrius. So I matched that, and I matched the $25 out my own pocket as well. So there's $50 on the cards of PSN vouchers. So
you can buy Quake 10 times.
Yeah, just hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. And and share this out on Twitter if you can as well, if you have Twitter. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll be picking at complete random and non-favoritism. I promise you, it's not favoritism. If anything, I'll write down your names and jumble it all up and then pick one at random. We'll figure out how to do it, but we'll do it. So
also, Wooly, a small thing. I noticed that you forgot to put in my Twitter handle.
Again? Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Right, I'll do that right now for you. Sorry, Wilhelm. It's just, you know.
Oh, no problem. I mean, I've just recently
what
got out of the
What is your Twitter handle, Will?
Maximus Wilhelm.
Maximus Wilhelm with what?
A big M for Maximus and then a big W.
A big W.
A big dub.
Maximus Wilhelm. Wilhelm with his big W. Okay.
Jack Dorsey doesn't know it's me though, so.
Okay. Another secret to keep on the podcast. There we go.
Too many secrets, man.
Too many secrets, bro. I can't handle all these secrets. It's too much. I'm just gonna go change.
Hey, Shaky Shaco guy. That's the handle. That's the handle. Thank you, kind man.
Thank you, brother. So, Maximus Wilhelm, I'm curious, my dude. I am very curious about your thoughts on the start of the 9th console generation. And so far, what are your thoughts? How would you rate how the Nintendo Switch, PS5 and Xbox Series consoles are doing in terms of software?
I think Xbox and PS5 are kind of hard for me to judge because I don't own both. Especially kind of how can I put that politely? Sorry, my vocabulary is kind of giving up on me, but especially kind of frustrating that I don't own the PS5 yet. I can only actually comment on the Switch's hardware. Like, are we talking about stuff like how they utilized things like the DualSense and all?
Well, so far we're just covering software on right now on this segment in terms of games, the games offered.
The games, okay. So far, I'm still just like on last week's podcast on Nintendo's side of things, because bit of a dry year for PlayStation. Xbox hasn't really done anything much, and I'm not that big of a racing game type guy, so I don't care about Forza. Switch, on the other hand, had some very nice titles, so I still stick to my past rating. I think I gave both PlayStation and I think PlayStation, I gave PlayStation a B, Nintendo Switch a B plus, and Xbox a D minus.
Yes, that was right. Yeah, I think it's pretty unanimous that Nintendo Switch wins this 12 months in terms of software for most people. I mean, for me, I'd give it PlayStation purely because of the PS5's launch. I think just offered something truly amazing.
That was a strong launch, yeah.
Yeah, but for those who have a Nintendo Switch, yeah, I can't blame them. They've had some incredible games such as
No More Heroes 3,
No More
Metroid
Heroes
Dread,
3, yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 5,
Metroid Dread.
yeah, Metroid Dread. It's been an awesome year for Nintendo Switch, and you know how fast the OLED sold despite it being really old hardware in terms of minus the screen. You know, mobile phones are close to the power of the Switch nowadays, and yet it's still selling like hotcakes. So it says everything, doesn't it? It's the games, my dude. So yeah, what about
Structure, I think.
Yeah, infrastructure was the next one, wasn't it? So in regards to infrastructure, we're looking at, you know, what are the advantages of both consoles? So, and of the Switch. I think on this one, I think the Switch is gonna fail pretty miserably. I'm not gonna lie.
The Switch is like, the Switch is like pretty basic on that regard. It doesn't really like do anything new or do anything that impressive. I don't like, you own a PS5. Like, can you tell me like the kind of things like the PS5 has going for it?
So yeah,
infrastructure-wise.
let me break it down, and anyone who wants to help me out as well, feel free to mention it in the chat. Oh, by the way, as for CJ, I know that you only deal in pounds, not dollars, my dude. The next one will be a sterling giveaway, so we will alternate between pounds UK and dollars US. Don't you worry. So I'm sorry about this one, my dude, but next time for sure. Stay tuned. Oh, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Yeah, that's another game that was released. But in terms of infrastructure for PS5, well, they've overhauled the remote play, which allows you to stream in 1080p, 60 FPS, directly connected to your PS5. So it's a little bit more stable, as you from my experience, than using the cloud on mobile. And it plays a treat, remote play. It's pretty cool being able to play and control your PS5 over your mobile data. Excuse me, sorry. I've been sleeping all day because I'm not been feeling too great, so I'm a little bit lethargic. So there's remote play. There is a complete overhaul to the UI. You're able to dive immediately into games within mere seconds, similar to Quick Resume, but you do it through the activity cards. So I can be on the main screen, completely not even logged into not even on a game. Everything's closed and off, so to speak. And I can go to my activity cards under, say, Demon Souls, click Tower of Latria, and straight away, within 6 seconds, I'm there. It just fast tracks you straight to that location. So you can almost, in a way, it's like a teleporter. It's pretty cool.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's really cool. And you can be specific of if you have a mission that you want to do in a game, and it's a big open world game, and it's a specific mission, and they've got activity
Yeah,
cards.
I've heard about that. Was it like those video hints they give you?
Yeah, you can
Yeah, I've
literally
heard about that.
you can select that mission in particular, and you'll teleport to where that mission begins. So it has amazing perks. But as for the hints, you literally have walkthroughs that are there accessible for you to go to straight away in the main menu. There was a recent update overhauling the party chat system where it allows, I think, more people in parties, party chats, and you can share play each other's games. You can play over the internet what each other are playing. You can view each other's games as well, what they're playing. You can watch them play in the top, like on a little tab to the side of your screen. So it's really good for like a tactical gameplay experience. If you're playing a first-person shooter, or you're playing a squad-based, team-based game, you can see your friend's screen with no latency, no lag. It's instantaneous. On a small tab that you place on the side of your screen. So that's a really understated feature. That's really freaking cool.
I just love how there's so much to talk about the PS5's infrastructure, while with the Switch, it's just like, I mean, you can start a game, you can go into the eShop, but there isn't anything else to it.
Yeah.
I definitely agree that of the three, the services and the stuff, the Switch is the weakest. But even then, the Switch this year they padded out their services a little bit more too with the expansion. What was it that they called it? I mean, it's bloated and bloated. It's like bloated with more Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64 games and whatnot. But
yeah, but the emulation isn't too great on the N64 thing. Have you heard about it?
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, my general consensus is that in terms of Game Pass and things, I definitely give Game Pass the edge this year with the moves Phil has been making to make the services in the network that much better. And then, of course, they've slowly added stuff to what was it? Their xCloud on Android and everything else as well. So
they've
I
updated
would
that now
definitely
with the Blade service, with the Xbox Series X blades.
yeah. So I definitely give the strength of I'd give Sony a C. You know, simply because PS Now stuff has been picking up. They've been getting some quality games and whatnot, but we still don't know much about their partnership with their partnership that they made with Microsoft regarding their deepening of their cloud yet. We haven't seen that play itself out. And yeah, this year in 2021, I'd say Microsoft definitely gets the A minus. I'd give them an A minus for all the work that they've done, bolstering their networks, their network and their service capabilities, and the infrastructure that they've been setting up for that. Sony would get a C. Nintendo, I'd give them a D.
Yeah. No, fair play. There are strengths without a doubt. Like, I like the fact with Xbox, wherever you progress in a game on your PC, for example, you can literally switch on your Xbox Series X and it's there, ready to continue. It's like it's seamless integration. But I've had serious issues with the Xbox app on my PC. So, I mean, for me, I'm a little bit negative towards that side of things. They've really done me over. However, without a doubt, Xbox Series X is probably the strongest out of the three. I do like, though, with PS5, like Ultra Mega mentioned, their PlayStation have recently updated the app where now you can share your screenshotted and saved media between friends and stuff directly.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely do that through the phone now.
See, I've still not been able to find that. I've been looking for how to do it, but my app just doesn't seem to have updated with that option. I don't know why. It's a funny one, but yeah, it's a really cool feature. Again, you got share play, which is really really cool. Seeing what your friend is playing at the same time as you is pretty cool. The quick resume-esque activity cards are awesome, but Xbox Series X has its own versions of these to a degree, or should I say PS5 has created these that are versions of what the Xbox Series X has. For PS5's activity cards, you have quick resume. For remote play, you've got the cloud. And I do think that Xbox's is a little bit more robust. So for me, I'd probably give PS5's infrastructure, as you still can't have themes just yet, which is a shame. I'd give PS5 probably a C plus, and I'd give Xbox Series X's infrastructure a B plus. I think there's room for improvement for both, definitely. But definitely Xbox takes the win for me personally. What's your favorite feature about? I don't know if any of you are an Xbox owner. I know I'm not, which kind of sucks. Really, we ideally needed an Xbox gamer on here. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't get a guest ready. I've literally
should have invited Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, I should have invited Jeff Grubb, who likes to kiss his consoles, or kids me.
No, so like I said, I have a Series S. So I can talk about some of the features.
Sweet. Nice.
But like I said, most of the things that's there for it deal with the online aspects, and I don't specifically dive or live in that in the Xbox Live ecosystem. The Series S is a digital console, so by virtue, I have to have an online connection to buy my games and whatnot. But that's literally all I have it for. I probably have like maybe 3 or 4 friends, and those friends are actually relatives of mine that I play with on certain things. So like they enjoy Gears of War, and that was the first game I bought on. That was the first game I went and purchased right after I got my Series S over the summer this year, and so I play with them online for that. But like I've done a few races for Forza, but in terms of like the quick resume, it's a novelty. It's a novelty feature.
It's not essential.
It's definitely not essential. Because I'm not like Joey Bats. Shout out to that guy. I'm not like him who will go and play 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes of a game and then switch to another game and then play that for another 20 or so minutes and then switch. I think for those type of gamers that have that kind of attention span and want to jump into something with immediacy, it's there. But like for me, when I get into a game, I'm into that game 100% until I get tired, and I have to shut it down. And that's basically how I've played. So like when I've been, I've done the Gears of War story campaign, and then I've done the DLC that they have for it as well for Gears 5, and that was fantastic. Xbox share is still wonky as fuck. It really is. It is not as intuitive as say the PlayStation 5 share.
That's
Share
so
by
robust. It's
yeah,
fantastic. Yeah.
yeah. So like Microsoft's feature set and the things that they've done for this console is a step forward. But when I compare it to how robust the PlayStation is with how they're going about sharing and being socially inclined, and even the Switch is, even the Switch has a very simplistic thing, rudimentary simplistic thing that works and works well, and it's like, it kind of leaves you head scratching when you're dealing with when you see how the Xbox deals with some of the social aspects of it. But it is a step forward coming off of what they had, last generation.
Yeah.
So
Facts. It's great. Akira's here. What's good, Akira? Thank you for coming, man. Fashionably late, but it's great that you're here. Glad.
Sorry. Yeah.
You're very quiet, dude. Your mic's extremely quiet. Hold on.
Hello. Hear me?
Better. Yeah, that's better. We can hear you.
I want to ask before I begin. What's this ball
Yeah.
bouncing?
So
What
I bought it on Steam for £12. It's a 2-hour long indie game, but it's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my experience. There's a terrible mission in the middle that's set in like some woodlands, and it's really poorly designed.
Dude, like
But the rest is phenomenal. It's just a lot of fun. It's
the
pretty
the way
spectacular.
the flying goes, like you could make a Superman game with that.
Honestly,
With
like,
that.
yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing when I was playing it. I was like, the speed, the velocity,
Superman, yeah.
and the way that they've done it is really clever. Like,
I mean, it's
whoever
a
made this
ball,
game,
but
props to
you
them.
change it to Superman, so
I saw
it's also
this.
gonna work.
Yeah, I saw this video. I saw a video of this game about 8 months ago, six months ago, on Blue Drake. I think it was Blue Drake's channel on YouTube. And he showcased this game, and it piqued my interest. So when I saw that it was finally released, I got it straight away.
It looks good. No, it really looks good. Yeah. Sorry, I was late. I was in this space about
Faces.
gatekeeping.
I knew it.
I was in this space about gatekeeping and basically if it's good or not. And the crazy thing that happened is that I was expecting a space about gatekeeping games and all that, but then a lot of women who are basically gaming basically open up with their issues about women being gatekept, and I couldn't believe a lot of the things that I've heard there was terrible, really terrible. And even a Capcom employee also, Kathy, also dropped by to basically express his issues, and it just opened my eyes. It was an eye opener. But yeah, about this.
dude,
Yeah.
I really have to say, like, I've seen, like, you've hosted some really, really powerful spaces that have brought in all sorts of industry professionals and stuff. And, like, I've seen a lot of nonsense on Twitter regarding hosting spaces and whatnot. And somebody said that you host some of the most toxic spaces and whatnot. So, like, when I hear stuff like this, and I see firsthand that the spaces you have bring in these industry professionals
Yeah.
who sit down and talk.
Oh man.
You sit down and
Yeah.
talk about these things, and you bring it. It's really it's fascinating, and I only when I hear stuff like that, I just have to laugh, and I'm just like, no, I think
Yeah. Yeah.
I really just have to laugh. I'm like, these people are probably just upset that
Upset, yeah.
you've definitely found your platform, your
Facts.
niche, in on
Yeah.
this on Twitter, and you're able to bring so much to the foreground and whatnot, and they hate that they hate that they haven't been able to capitalize on that. So like, really,
No, no.
dude, big
Thank you
up on
again.
you,
It
big up
was
on you.
Yeah.
it was very eye opening. Again, so many issues with gatekeeping. Again, women, sexism, all that. It's crazy, and I can't believe it, but sadly, assholes just exist, and a lot of them are hidden. So I'm really thankful when people open up to these issues so that you can spread awareness in some kind of way, like even just for a little bit, like
Dude,
even just for a
I
little
would
bit.
also like love so much to talk, hang out with you on spaces and everything,
Yeah,
but somehow
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why, but web app, it won't let me on web app
It should be
somehow.
the mobile
But
app, yeah, mobile app.
but I don't want to go back to mobile app,
No,
or
no,
else
no, no, I get
Jack
it.
Dorsey will rip off my face mustache
Okay,
and see, oh
so
shit.
I just wanna. All right, so basically, I see the topics, right? PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Switch, OLED, Switch, man. Oh
Like,
man, like, dude, the Switch, right? I'm gonna start with the
so
Switch
we
because
covered software. I just want to hear
yeah,
your thoughts on software first,
I'm,
Akira.
I'm gonna start with the Switch. You know what? I have this. I've been talking about this with Prince because the Switch is so popular in Japan. It's just the truth, right? It dominates Japan, and even the world itself. Kind of, Nintendo kind of have the world in their palm of their hand. And the thing is, we discussed that Switch popularity also has some kind of has a negative thing about it, which is we established that a lot of Japanese developers nowadays does not have that much progress anymore in a technical perspective.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
And
Um,
yeah,
we definitely can see that with Team Ninja and
yeah,
Tri Ace. My God,
yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
the reason why we talked about it because back in the day, let's say PS1, PS2, PS3, the Japanese developers used to lead this thing. There used to
hmm
be the leaders, like they lead this shit. And now, it's not a bad thing, but it's just the truth that Western developers are kind of leading the technical progress in gaming. It's just, I mean, there are still exceptions like Capcom and, Square Enix and Cygames, but those are the big ones. The smaller ones, they don't really push anymore because a lot of them, we established that a lot of them are hang up on the Switch being the main moneymaker. So if you're stuck up on, making games for only that console as a target, you don't really progress anymore on a technical level, and they can
yeah,
get left behind. If they keep doing that. Again, Capcom, Square Enix are the kind of ones of who pursues to develop technically. Like Capcom with an RE engine, still one of the best engines right now. It's just the truth.
yeah,
Square Enix is making a lot of they're trying to make do with their Luminous engine, which is Forspoken looks fucking amazing. You gotta say it. And
yeah.
Cygames is like one of those new upcoming developers that might need to watch out for. You saw that Project Awakening technical demo,
Yeah,
right?
bro, for real. Like
So
I've been excited about Project Awakening for so long. It's the
uh,
truth.
the interesting about Project Awakening is that Cygames 3 years ago used to have 250 developers. But after 3 years, they're at 2,000 developers, over 2,000 developers right
Holy
now.
shit.
And based on the budgets that they're giving for Project Gam, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and Project Awakening, it seems like they want to enter the AAA space. And I can see it as well because they made an engine just for that game, which
Yeah.
looks amazing. So these are the exceptions that are pushing it, but there are some that are just getting left behind, and I think it's because of the Switch. It's such a money maker that a lot of Japanese developers would be just happy to get their games on that thing because it's
Yeah,
gonna sell.
Yeah, it's got the most. Yeah, it's got a very deep fan base right now, and it's selling. And then the cost of development is also isn't as steep as developing
Yeah.
on a PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, for that matter.
Yeah.
And for people who want to know how much it actually costs for a development kit for these systems, I definitely. Um, It's probably it. I think it might be bordering on the online of NDAs, but what I can do is I'll do previous generations because there is cost to development kits, and they get subsidized as the years go by, and then when development ceases or switches over to next generation, it's heavily discounted. So at the very start of a generation, like development kits will cost a little bit more for developers when they buy these kits and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
would know because I have a couple here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thankful that there are still some of them trying to push it. I mean, Kojima, although the engine is not his, he is trying to push it. Kojima Productions are at least still trying to push it. But yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of them are getting left behind. I hope they catch up, a lot of them somehow. But yeah, Switch software-wise, they just really have games, and it's convenient. But there's really not a lot to hit home about it aside from the games and the convenience
Yeah.
of what the Switch provides, and that's basically it. And again, I hope they try to also progress Nintendo so that these other developers that are hang up on them can also progress. I don't want to see Japanese developers get left behind. It's gonna be a really sad thing. And for example, Tales of Arise looks beautiful compared to the previous Tales. So things like that. Again,
I've
graphics is not
bought
everything.
Tales of
However,
Arise today actually, so I'm looking forward to diving into that.
graphics is not everything. However, technical progress means a lot. Still
Yeah, yeah.
means everything. So that's it. And PlayStation 5 again. From the PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, it really felt like a PS1, PS2 jump for me. It I actually felt the changes, compared to the PlayStation 2 and 3, which they had changes, and I was happy to have a new console, but it was not that impactful the change because it was still like improved graphics and improved this and that, but PS5, dual sense 3D audio, adaptive triggers, haptic feedback, and the UI is so smooth. It's great. Again, I never cared about these features before, but with the PS5, I really researched about them because a lot of the games now I get to share play before I get to buy them. It's kind of like a demo for me.
Yeah.
It's like me having a demo. As long as I have a friend who owns it, I can try it
Yeah.
out for 20, 30 minutes on his end, and I can decide if I want to buy it. And that's how I do my games now. And I think it's such an underrated feature that people should try to utilize.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
literally have your own demos if you just have a friend who owns these games.
You know what though? There's a so one of the things I've done. So like I'm always wary about share play because sometimes some of the people who you consider your friends can fuck you over. And I'll tell you this: uh, one of my friends was gaming with a friend that he'd been gaming with online for about 3 months, and he asked the guy to share play, and the guy literally took over his game, erased the save, and deleted the game out of his system.
Why would he
Um,
fucking do that?
Damn,
yeah,
dude,
so like,
like, yeah, you need to find
so
someone you trust. Yeah,
there is trepidation and stuff about that. So share play is I've used it about maybe three or
Bro,
four
you've bought in DZ, bro. Sorry,
times. Sorry,
it's
I
alright.
was saying, SharePlay is a fantastic feature. Um, right now, I consider it a novelty because, um, you know, So it's like Sony. It's funny because like it's just a laundry list of things that the system can do that Sony doesn't specifically open talks about. You know, they'll release a, like I said, a blog post about it with their thing, but that's literally about it. You know, you don't really see much people talking about share play so much. So like I'm glad Akira brought it back up. And said that this is a great way for people to utilize their to try before they buy and whatnot. Um, you know,
Yeah,
it
again, it's very useful.
yeah, yeah, it
True.
is.
100%.
What was it? I'd seen somebody. Yeah, I'd seen Crack Bandicoot. Crack Bandicoot tried Returnal before he bought it. Before he even got a
Uh,
PlayStation 5. He tried it via remote play when they had enabled remote play between PlayStation 4 and 5. Oh, yeah, there definitely are some interesting ways about doing it. And then, of course, like another feature that we had talked about that no one seems to really talk about is the dual screen thing that you could do where you're playing a game and you could link up and talk to your friend and see what they're playing as well.
Yeah,
Which they
yeah,
detailed,
goes so
Sony detailed
overlooked.
that. Yeah, but Sony detailed that in the UI presentation they did last year. And I've done it. I've actually done it quite a number of times with my friends when I've wanted to run a semi co-op sort of experience.
Same here.
I've played with friends. I've played with friends in Destiny. You know, just to kind of see, even though we're not playing the same game, the same specific area in Destiny, and I just kind of wanted to see what they were doing. I'd play my own campaign, and they'd be playing their own version of the campaign and whatnot. Um, and that was cool. So like, it, I wish Sony would talk about these things a little bit more, But they're just features. They complement the experience. They don't um, they don't define the experience, so to
Yeah.
speak. The experience is defined by the gamer and the game that they're playing. And yeah, so
yeah. Again, these are underrated features that I did not really care about before, but I started caring about in the PS5. So, gaming, man, I had fun. Again, I played Lost Judgment. Miles Morales was absolutely amazing. Now I'm playing Tales of Arise, and then I played Death Stranding Director's Cut. Still amazing as like it was before, just made more amazing now. Um, what else? I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima and Returnal. Got backlog. I'm so excited for Sifu. Jesus, man, I would have bought a PS5 for Sifu alone.
Yeah,
Like that shit
it's
is
got
just
like
mine.
it gives me serious
Yeah.
like I love the environment, the settings is very John Wick, with the purple lit neon
That
rooms and
did you see the Did you see the clips that I shared from that gameplay clips?
yeah,
Where I said it
yeah,
looks like a kung fu fight scene. It really does, and it was gameplay. And I'm like, dude, this is like my ultimate power fantasy that I wanna relive my favorite kung fu movies. So again, Sifu, I would have bought a PS5 alone for that. Kina was also an amazing experience, and I'm very excited for what Ember Lab does next. So yeah, software wise, games wise, and again, as always, the reason why I stayed with PlayStation is because I'm always in gaming heaven. Always, no generation, not even the PS3, even though it started bad. Not even the PS3 put me on a desert, something like that. Right, always gaming heaven.
yeah.
So
There's never a drought on the PlayStation
never
side.
a drought. No, no, no,
They,
never a drought for
they,
me. Always have backlog.
we'll have a slow year where we'll always have a slow year where they don't have as many, and that's the nature of the cadence, right? That's the nature of the cadence of the year, right? So like,
Uh,
your first party can't always deliver on a consistent thing. So you need to pad that out and structure everything accordingly. But like it is there's never a drought. They're just it's just
Uh,
slow. Yeah.
Wooly, you should. I sent a link to the Discord. You should play that one. 7 minutes of gameplay. It's not trailer. It's a gameplay, like just gameplay, all of it, all 7 minutes.
Okay.
And it's never before seen, in my opinion, because I have never seen it myself, and I watched every single Sifu video on YouTube
Oh,
because I'm
that-
so addicted to
okay,
that damn game.
okay.
I'm really
Hello,
addicted.
gamers.
Let's get this up. Okay.
Again, I mean, just watch that, man. It really looks like a,
Watching it right
a,
now, my
uh,
brother.
it really looks like a kung fu movie in motion, and it's all gameplay. It's not even cutscene. The way you dodge and the way you, it's crazy.
Right,
Again,
we're watching it
it's-
right now,
it's just
guys.
crazy.
Enjoy the 7 minutes
Yeah.
of gameplay.
Yeah, again, guys, that's no cuts. Maybe some cuts, but again, they at least finish the fights before they go to the next one. And again, it's one of my most anticipated games of the year, alongside Forspoken and Final Fantasy 16. Yeah,
I
just
think Shaky Shako is pretty hype for Sifu as well, judging by the looks of it.
Dude.
He's,
I love again I love beat 'em up games, but this is my dream beat 'em up game.
Mhm.
This thing here.
Yeah, for
Like,
real.
every fight that you will see in this video, it looks like a fight scene from your favorite kung fu action martial arts movie.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
of how the parry looks like, how the dodges look like, how the moves look like. Even the environment
Yeah,
is
the
is
interaction with the
very
environment.
interactive.
Yeah, for real.
It's
Again,
slow clap. I gotta give it to slow clap. They're a very, very small studio as well.
30 developers. 30.
Yeah, 30 developers, and the fluidity of their motion capture and their technique for capturing the nuance and speed and ferocity of those kind of moves, those kind of things are insane.
It's
That's-
amazing
that's
to see how
something-
far they've come, though, because look at Absolver. You can see the building
Absolver,
blocks they've
yeah.
done leading up to this. But Absolver, it was good, but there wasn't that
Was lacking.
that connectivity,
Yeah.
that kind of almost like it felt like you were both doing your own preset moves without any
See that shit, man?
real
Jesus.
contact with the other player. Do you know what I mean? It kind of
Yeah. I love the multi-directional animation. Like wherever the enemy is, he have a special animation
Yeah.
for it. Just feels the combat feels so fluid that way.
so
It's,
back.
again, it looks like an action scene. But yeah, I want to say Slow Clap. A lot of them, the developers themselves, practice kung fu in real life.
Oh wow.
So the motion capture artists are actually from Slow Claps as well.
That's
One of
amazing.
their
Really?
lead main developer. Yeah, yes. One of their lead main developers. The kung fu style of Sifu is Pakme Kung Fu, and
Yeah.
he's one of the lead developers. Practice this along with other 10. They all practice this same kung fu, and this is the one that Sifu is using.
That's fantastic.
They're very
Oh, wow.
passionate about
They're
martial
very
arts. Yeah.
naturally talented, aren't they? Bloody hell. That's
And, and again, you can ask, for example, somebody who practice kung fu in real life. They will recognize those moves because they are so accurately done. The game.
Wow.
that's
It's crazy. And so yeah, again, I would have bought a PS5 alone for that game. I don't care if the PS4 is on PS4. I'm gonna get the PS5.
It's safe to say when it comes to software, it's pretty close between Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch and PS5 in terms of.
And again, I wish Slow Clap, Sifu becomes successful so that they get the same thing like Ember has. I want
Yeah.
Sony to support this studio more. I swear, like just just a little bit of support. Maybe they can make, let's say, for example, technically as well, from a visual perspective, looking game. It would be a hit because they're so good at what they do already. And I would love them to shine more, maybe on a AAA space. But whatever, Slow Clap is amazing, and I think there's someone to watch out for. Hopefully, they get bigger, for example, something like that.
And
But yeah,
with Kung
I-
Fu
well-
being big in China, I imagine this game would sell pretty well in China.
yeah, sure. Not only I think Japan. Actually, to be honest, worldwide people love martial arts
Yeah, true.
movies. So I think Sifu has that appeal, to be honest. And yeah, the wall climbing looks very Jackie Chan. I gotta admit, it looked very Jackie Chan the way he climbed that, and so yeah, you saw how he fought those three, right? It really looked like an action movie scene. And I'm so excited to play it myself. But yeah, so the Xbox. This is the thing. So Xbox, I cannot say a lot because I don't own one. I can only speak on people. Let's say people who loved it, right? So apparently, quick resume is a really good feature because it's kind of like you unplug the Xbox and you still can resume whatever you played, right? Like you didn't turn it off, something like that. So I think I think it's a cool feature, but it's not really something I need.
Yeah, like it's a bit like the SSD was, right? How much storage can you get for a console? Well, why do you need 3 terabytes of storage? Like, why do you need that many games installed? Are you really going to be diving between 30 different games at a time? Is that how you play your games? Like, to me, it's pointless spending 500 quid on a 3 terabyte external SSD sorry, internal SSD. For me anyway. That's just my thoughts. But and it's similar with quick resume. Why do you really need to swap between 6 or 7 games? However, that being said, even if you're not swapping between 6 or 7 games, the fact that a game can start at a similar time to the PS5 on your Xbox Series X is a nice, neat feature in how it does that. For real. So what would you score the 3 consoles, Akira?
Okay,
from A
yeah.
plus to F minus. What would you?
Okay,
in terms of software games.
In terms of software for this year.
PS5 again. PS5 is A plus for me. Again, as much as first party didn't have a lot of input, I'm still enjoying the games I'm playing, so I cannot really see the problem. I don't really have any complaints on that.
See, that's a really good point, right? Because guys, Akira's not long got his PS5, so you've got to appreciate going into getting a PS5 later on in this first year is amazing for so many gamers because they've not had the waiting period that we have. They've got all of these games kind of at their fingertips right now to enjoy. So.
Oh yeah, that's the thing of being an early adopter versus somebody coming in later. Getting a brand new console right now, a PlayStation 5 right now. There's already 7. There's already 7 strong AAA games that you could get that are exclusive to the platform right now. Or especially if you're coming over from a different platform like the Xbox and all that. So,
yeah. So a Switch is again with the Switch I'm happy with the games I play. The problem is again my gripe with them too. That might be a major reason why some Japanese developers can get left behind. I really don't like that Nintendo is not trying to, uh, technically progress.
Yeah.
And which is why I'm gonna give them a B because they still provide games, so I also hard to complain about that. So yeah, B. Xbox hard to give 1 because I don't own one, so I cannot really give 1. But I mean, from what I've seen, people are playing, and some people are happy about it. Halo is coming, Forza is coming, so it's B as well. Yeah, B as well.
Nice.
But yeah, again, dude, I'm keep repeating it, man. I would buy a PS5 for Sifu, like that for that game alone. I swear to God, man, it's so good.
Yeah, for real.
It's so good. No. What I love about this gen is there's really a certain emphasis on variety with PlayStation right now. Like every game coming out of PlayStation, there's really almost nothing the same within all of them. I can call it that way, which is really a great thing. And then of course, they're trying to branch out with China and South Korea and maybe more. Herman Holst for the first time again after PS3 and PS4, Herman Hole, somebody in the PlayStation side, actually said the word that they wanna get back to their Japanese roots, Japanese legacies, Japanese games where they come from. It's very important because I would love more of that JRPG goodness. And again, to help them progress on a technical perspective, I need that again. The support on these very talented indie developers like Slowclap and Emberlab is most appreciated. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that they support Slowclap because Sifu is like a dream game again for me, and just can't be happier. Just can't be happier to fucking like I didn't expect this game at all when the generation started, and when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, it's a dream come true. It's like for
Dude, that's
example,
the
if I would be a developer, it's a game that I would make, something like that, right?
Yeah.
See, that's a
Um,
part of the idea that Sony, while most of their entire first party is focusing on the big AAA
yeah,
experience and whatnot, they are also taking the time to pour resources into supporting the indie.
yeah.
So like,
I'm,
it,
I mean, let's. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, DZ.
yeah. So like, it's cool to see. It's cool to see stuff like this.
Yeah,
Um,
again, I would be lying if I'm not excited for something like God of War, Spider-Man 2. Dude, Spider-Man 2, it's Tony Todd, bro. Tony
yeah.
Todd. Again, that man alone is enough to make you buy the game. Like I'm not even joking. Like Tony Todd is legendary. But yeah, and Wolverine of course, and you got KOTOR and God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West. They're all also exciting. Uh, I'm still fucking waiting for Fire Sprite because I feel excitement from I love dark narratives. Again, I have a morbid curiosity about dark narratives in real life or fiction. So if they're making one, it's definitely for me. So again, I embrace both indie, double A, triple A, whatever the hell it is, so that I always have a massive backlog because I embraced a lot of them too much. But yeah, so I like the balance. I think that's a good thing about that. You got the double A, you got the triple A's, and you got the indies. I think that's a good balance. Not everything needs to be first party. Not everything needs to
Right.
be third party. It has to be, yeah, even the third party. Third party is also a great balance. Against Final Fantasy 16 is actually third party. Forspoken
Yeah.
is actually third party, and it looks fucking amazing. I just saw their newest clip, right? The one where they jumped and she
Yeah.
landed. Man,
Mate,
again,
what Forspoken
so much.
is offering is pretty incredible with the sense of verticality. Like imagine
Dude, like,
dropping and across huge mountains and
yeah.
taking giant leaps, and
I
it's just
The
the
speed at which
in
the
go on,
speed at
Daisy.
which they have that the speed at which they had Freya moving through the world of it, I was just like, holy shit,
yeah.
this this is fast. Seamless. Like,
Yeah, uh,
yeah,
just,
go on. I'm not. Yeah,
no,
go
no,
on.
sorry, no, no,
I was done.
no, no. It's
I was done. I was just saying the speed at which they had her moving and traversing the world of Athia was what drew me to the game um, immediately because she's it's almost like she's dancing on air.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. The thing with Forspoken as well that I think is not mentioned a lot is it's not only the speed itself is actually pretty incredible, but I think the thing that impressed me the most is speed plus amazing animation. Like if you watch the Forspoken trailers in slow motion when she does parkour, the animation is it's a joy to watch because in certain games like they have this automatic animations that have AI controlling it, right? And for
yeah,
Spoken somehow it kind of looks like it's so accurate where her hands and feet land whenever she's on the move. And I don't think there's not a lot of games where you see that because a lot of them are a lot of them does let's say have some AI capabilities when they do animation, right? But for Spoken, I don't know if it's AI or mocap or a mix of both, but it looks so precise and fast at the same time. It's something that I can really appreciate for especially like me who loves watching animation. and again, that new clip that they showed where Faye jumped and landed. Did you see that distance, that draw distance on the
Yeah.
background?
It's incredible. Well, they're trying to make it
that
the
was
most beautiful looking game.
that was on par. That was on par with the Unreal Engine 5 demo when you had that massive draw distance background. And it
Yeah,
actually kind of reminds me of the demo as well, the way how fast she moves.
yeah.
It's kind of almost there as well. So again, the balance of third party second, double A, triple A, indie, the PlayStation is going for. I love it because I got many choices and people have choices, and Shuei Yoshida is always a fucking genius. So you can't go wrong with that guy whenever he chooses a game.
So
He has a really good eye with
Kara,
games. Yeah.
rein it in a little bit. Back on track. this
Sorry,
shit.
sorry.
No, bro, I love
Sorry.
it. Honestly, I could listen. I could listen to it all day. But for the sake of those listening, because of the title, we let's focus on just this year.
Sorry about that. What's up?
No, don't be sorry, man. It's awesome. Your enthusiasm is I'm smiling. It's awesome to hear. But so for the last 12 months, since from November to November, it's different for you, isn't it? Because you've not long had your PS5. So
It's true.
whereas for us, 2021 felt a little drier compared to the launch of the PS5. So
I think. Sorry. I think it would have not been dry for me as well because, for example, if I would have the PS5 day one, right, I would still be playing, the third party games and then first party games as well. So I don't really think I would feel like it would be dry for me anyway because I still have the background. When I had my PS4 when I was, waiting to get a PS5. Basically, I played Fist, right?
I mean, don't get me wrong. In terms of third party, if you include that as well, it hasn't been dry at all. And when you look at like the competition, they've only just released, their first batch of first party titles, so it is a huge difference in. But I'm just saying, the PS5 started with a huge bang, and 2021 hasn't been quite at the same level. As
it's not.
But for you, it's pretty incredible because you've got all these games at once, Kena and Miles Morales. You've got, Deathloop if you want that, and Demon Souls. you see the point? There hasn't been that waiting period, I guess, in between games, in between first party game drops. And I know Kena isn't first party, but is, you know what I mean? It's like an exclusive, isn't it? So, but yeah, no, I like your ratings in terms of software. How about infrastructure? Because we're kind of discussing the infrastructure, and I gave the dub to Xbox in terms of but it's not too different for me because PS5 has a lot of things going for it as well. But Xbox has quite a solid infrastructure.
Infrastructure? You mean like internet or network?
Like when you look at like services available, but also how those services are utilized on the console. Like with PS5, you've got share play, you've got remote play, you've got the screens where you can watch what your teammates are playing.
Screen share.
You've got the activity cards, the app, and how that relates to sharing media. So you've got a lot of stuff going for it in terms of PS5. But then with Xbox, you've got quick resume. You've got cloud gaming. You've got the way that it seamlessly loads into the save game on your PC what you were playing on your console. It's seamless, smart delivery and all that shit. So
I think so. Again, PS5 made this. One thing that I'm really thankful about PlayStation is they made video clip. Streaming and video clip. Making video clips really easy, like really really easy compared to the PS4, which is something I always had a problem with the PS4. Like I saw this really cool moment and I couldn't record anymore because the PS4 recording is a bit shit. When it comes to recording back, normally when you try to record back, it's gonna record the whole thing, right? but in PS5, it gives you the choice to either record the last 15, 30, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you can cut it as well, and share it all at the same time. It's so seamless and flawless. And you know what, infrastructure, man. I didn't encounter any problems. Everything's working as they're supposed to be, and they're useful to me. So yeah, it's also an A, like before.
Yeah.
There's also an A. I think Xbox deserves praise for FPS boost. Deserves praise, absolutely. Backwards compatibility absolutely deserves praise for that. I would, I mean, if PlayStation gives A plus, I'm gonna give them, yeah, actually, wait, no, actually, I would give them A minus because a lot of people talks to me and they say that the user interface is still not all that though. They still have its
being
own
able
problems.
to share footage is still a bit dodgy on Xbox. It's
Yeah,
limited to like 30 seconds or something, or a minute.
Yes. So yeah, A plus and A minus, but yeah, I mean, again, I would wish that PlayStation, would try to give more backwards compatibility. I don't know if they have any plans at all because they got these remasters and remakes that are kind of their plan as well, kind of. But again, it's worth praising backwards compatibility because there are still games from the PS2, PS1, PS3 era that I would love to play today on the PS5. But,
Give me Killzone all day. Give me Killzone all day. 100%.
Yeah, again, so yeah, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 is only on PS3, so something like that, right? And
MGS4, man.
it's only on
Akira, bro.
They really.
Akira, just to let you know, bro, we're getting some kind of like static feedback.
Oh, sorry.
It's like going. Zzz, zzz.
Still there?
Nope, it's gone. That's awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
Wooly, you need to put over that sound when we start to talk about the thing that we should keep quiet about.
Oh
our
shit!
little
Yeah. Let's not mention that.
But yeah,
you missed a lot, Akira. You missed a lot.
That's my score.
That's awesome. So what, you given A minus to
Xbox, A plus to PS? Yeah.
Oh shit! Wow. Okay. PlayStation.
Again, man, backwards compatibility and that FPS boost is worth all the praise. I say it like worth all the praise.
I couldn't give PlayStation A plus purely because it lacks those things, but
okay, no, that's fair. I mean,
but
the only reason why I gave A plus is because everything is working how they're supposed to work. That's the only reason why I gave it A plus.
I see what you're saying.
And
so
A minus to Xbox because
again,
a lot of people highlighted those issues with the interface, and I think
that's a really good point. I would agree that PlayStation has a more stable infrastructure, but but it doesn't have the things that Xbox does have. But what Xbox, it's kind of I see what you're saying. You're measuring it in terms of what they've already delivered what they've already delivered and how well that stuff works, which is pretty cool.
It works, works well. It works well. I didn't encounter any problems, so that's worth the praise as well.
And Nintendo Switch.
There's really not a lot to say about the Switch when it comes to this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only thing I could praise about the Switch is that their online play is really good. To be honest, Switch, it's really good online play. Very stable. But yeah, it's basically it's all I praise for. Maybe they have their uniqueness as well. For example, you got the move controls with the sticks. You play Skyward Sword, for example, you can do move controls, which is, I think, really cool, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't say a lot, so I would go for a B again for this one. B for Switch, just like I did with a while ago. B for Nintendo.
Got you. So let's move on to the last one.
What about me? I haven't gotten the chance to rate him.
I'm sorry, Willie. Can you repeat that?
Wilhelm, I'm sorry, dude, I missed you on the infrastructure.
Oh, no.
What about your thoughts?
All right, yeah. I will.
I, I mean, on the, I don't know. I haven't experienced, PlayStation 5 and Xbox myself. So, but from what I've heard, they seem to have pretty good infrastructure, which is why I give, to make it fair, both a B. While with the Switch, I have to say, it's really not all that special. I don't know what D D for the Switch. It does what it does, to be fair, but it doesn't nearly offer the things the other consoles do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What like what? What's your? Do you want to elaborate?
No.
That would be what audience do, but I would like to do.
I love it. I love it. Xbox has not briefs comments. Xbox is already dropping backwards compatibility already, though, so that was just a stopgap. PS didn't need to focus on backwards compatibility because they had games to release at launch, but PS has better backwards compatibility with PS4 alone, in my opinion. You know, that is a solid point.
PS4,
You
yeah,
can play
but,
4,000 backwards compatible PS4 titles on PS5, many of which are boosted in some way or another. If it's not the highest resolution on the dynamic resolution scale that the game has, it's 60 FPS and the highest resolution on the dynamic resolution scale. So, you know, that's a solid argument and a solid point. And with the 70 backwards compatible FPS boost titles kind of thing going on, not FPS boost but backwards compatible titles that Xbox has, that its licensing dictates that they've kind of reached the end of the road with that. So yeah, you know, that's a solid point, and that's why emulation is king. You need, you know, just get Pirate Bay. I'm an advocate of it. If you're not using it for new games, but you're using it for games that aren't available anymore, you know, and emulators too. 100%. I think emulation is the way to go to preserve gaming. But I really do hope PlayStation, you know, are taking seriously and are currently working on a solution to the PS3 backwards compatible, because there are so many incredible games on the PS3 that need to be allowed to be played on the PS5, in my opinion. But that's my thoughts. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I'm yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here, bro.
I was listening to you talk. Yeah, I would definitely love, for them to bring some of the PlayStation 3 catalog onto, via emulation and whatnot for backwards compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would love to dive into right back into Heavenly Sword. I'd love to dive into the Resistance trilogies again. Those are fantastic. But then for a digital PlayStation 5 owner like myself, that becomes a difficult proposition because those were games that I bought physical back when internet was not so strong for me back then. So like, yeah, that'd be great and all to have it, but like, how am I going to access it? You know, definitely one half or a percentage of the PlayStation base is going to not have access to the PlayStation 3 library. If they do something like emulation and bringing all that.
In my opinion, that's where PS Now could come in, because they could literally port over the the file of the game into PS Now to allow you to download it natively to your PS5 console if they, through firmware, enable an emulator to play those games. And I know emulation is very taxing to hardware, but if the PS5, which I'm pretty sure it could push out with its CPU 1080p.
It definitely could push those games out. The issue comes though from articulating everything that the SPUs did, because to this day, and any PlayStation developer will tell you that the SPUs on the PlayStation 3 are so damn capable. They can, they could pair back. The SPUs could do so much world simulation and stuff, and the things that they use that they coded it for to do for certain stuff, just simply would not work by simply remaking or by simply porting. You would need to redo everything. You need to redo a whole lot of the logic.
That's why the PS3 emulator that we have, the best one going right now that we have available, I think it's called RPCS3. That emulation is a constant work in progress, taking months just to run one game like Killzone 2, for example. Has taken months and months and months, years even, to get that game running glitch free and because they've had to literally go and do exactly what you were saying, rewrite the way that these operations are carried out. So no, that's a very good point.
It's a very, very tough task, and a very tough ask on a lot of the engineers to sit through and codify and make sure that the libraries are running. And then you have the after you've gotten all the libraries up and running, then you have to go ahead in and test to see if all of them work, and test to see if they work, and if there's any irregularities, then you got to scratch that from it. And once you've done that and you say, okay, well, we can't revisit this, or we'll have to scratch that, and that game could very much well be a game that, people have wanted to play, but for the simple thing of time, it's not working the way that it's supposed to. So kudos to Ken Kutagari for creating the PS3 and everything that it's about. But that shit was needlessly difficult, which is why you're capable. It's easier to stay within the same family of hardware in terms of graphic processors and CPUs than it is to carry out backwards compatibility titles than it is to do it when you're doing from bespoke hardware. So NVIDIA was, of course, the PlayStation 3 thing. And in order for them to achieve backwards compatibility on the PlayStation 2, for PlayStation 2 and PS1, they emulated the PS1 entirely via software. And that was fine because it wasn't so difficult to do that on the PlayStation 3. But for the PS2, they literally had to include both the GPU and the CPU on the die, and then to save on costs, they removed the GPU and did it based on just the CPU alone, and then what they did after that was they emulated the GPU's functionality through the PlayStation 3's GPU later on down the line. So these, like I said, if they were going to, one of the ways that they could potentially do PlayStation 3 stuff, it would be to include the cell processor, just the cell processor, on the CPU side of the die. And then after they've done that, then they could simulate the GPU logic that way, and that's a simpler way of going about it. But they won't necessarily do something like that now because they're not in good working relationship with NVIDIA right now, and NVIDIA is really none to. NVIDIA doesn't want that kind of relationship with Sony right now anyway, or with the console market, because Microsoft and Sony has basically dumped them because they refuse to offer cheaper CPU fabrication and GPU fabrication for their stuff. So yeah, it's a very tough thing to go about, which I don't know what their solution is going to be, other than maybe making using a PlayStation 3 farm as a GPU farm from PlayStation 3s, and then using that to connecting that somehow, to integrating that somehow into the PlayStation Now network, and putting these titles there. But then it also goes back to licensing and stuff like that, because they'd be placing these things, they'd be renewing these licenses and placing them on, and they'd have to pay the developers to have these things available for streaming, and that becomes a whole other headache that they have to do. So they'd much rather go through and cherry pick their titles and take from the back catalog of PlayStation 4 to bolster that thing. So like, I don't see them even doing that, revisiting that for PlayStation 3, because it's going to be super expensive in and of itself, and it's a whole lot of technical nonsense that I don't think they care to to deal with at the moment.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's all good points. It's a sad reality, to be honest. I've been holding out hope, but when you mention, the caveats and the necessary manual labor required, it would be like, I imagine, for the PS3 games altogether, like at least a 5 to 10 year effort to with a lot of manpower to do all of that. Yeah, one can dream, but sad. Let's just hope that when cloud gaming becomes more robust, then PS Now will offer a seamless experience, allowing you to replay the likes of, Resistance 3, etc. Excuse me. Okay, last one. We've gotten software out the way. We've got an infrastructure around the way. What about the way these consoles are utilized? The hardware, and
okay, the way they're utilized.
so
I think
DualSense
they're
for the
still.
PS5,
I think they're still scratching the surface. It really feels like it. For example, the most, let's say, mind-blowing experience so far I got with a DualSense was Death Stranding Director's Cut, actually. For example, in the first part of Death Stranding, right, you see Sam riding the motorcycle. And the way the DualSense was it really felt like I was, in that motorcycle. Because of the way the DualSense was reacting to, whenever Sam was getting a close-up with his motorcycle. It just felt real. And I think developers are still experimenting with that, because that amount of strength with the DualSense, how much it vibrates, it's still weak with a lot of games. The
Yeah.
haptic feedback is still weak because it seems like they haven't figured out properly. Kojima Productions was experimenting with that because even in the game it was a bit weaker again. It was only strong in the cutscene. So I think they are still trying to find a balance on how to make that work. That's why they're still not sure on how much they can apply to it.
Yeah.
And according to Mark Cerny, the next era of games is ray trace games. Right? He said there are 3 eras of games. He said 2D games was the first one, then 3D games was the second era, and the third era is ray trace games. Is what he said. Now, from the way he said it, I believe it's not achieved yet.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah.
way he said
I
it.
would agree. We're just scratching the surface. People are still trying to
Yeah.
figure out the best ways to
So,
use ray
yeah.
tracing and whatnot. So like,
I mean, great things ahead, of course. I think I would give it for now. Yeah, a B minus. I mean, for the utilization of the hardware for now, a B minus for the PS5.
Sounds fair. Sounds very fair.
Yeah,
What about you, DZ?
this is the first year.
for PlayStation 5, I'd say the first crop of games that have utilized the features well, and those features are the core. It is a thing.
DZ, you've lost your voice, bro. Lost
Oh,
you.
sorry. In terms of hardware utilization, that's I'd give it an A, because it's not ubiquitous and something that's all around. And the games that have come out for the PlayStation 5, especially, use those features in different ways. Not every game uses ray tracing, and when some games use ray tracing, they don't do a very good job of it. Some do. Not every game that uses the DualSense uses it very convincingly. Astros does. Returnal uses the DualSense quite well, and it does the 3D audio. And then, and games that use other features too, like activity cards, the super fast loading. There are games that utilize the share play feature quite well, and use it for multiplayer purposes too. So like, it's bespoke and ubiquitous. But one thing I will say is that this entire year, the feature set has been displayed, and where people have said that it would be a gimmick that would be done within just 6 months and nobody else would use it. We've been seeing that developers have been super excited to provide that extra layer of interactivity and extra layer of care into their games to make gaming on the PlayStation 5 a fantastic thing. I loved the way Control utilized the DualSense. I loved the way that Control utilized the activity cards.
Dirt 5 uses it really well as well.
Yeah. So like there are these really, really, really well thought out developer processes that they.
By the way, Ride 4, in my opinion, offers the best utilization of the adaptive triggers I've ever felt. It literally, the resistance that you feel, it feels like a throttle, and the haptic feedback as well. Oh mate, it's brilliant. Ride 4 is understated.
Yeah, so like this is what I'm saying. Like the people will tell you that it's a gimmick and it's just this one thing and it's a novelty, and they turn it off the moment they get it because it's annoying. But like, I say to those people that say stuff like that, they're just capping and playing. They're playing a game of just trying to seem cool. But like the reality is, in terms of feature set usage and development, I have to give Sony an A plus on this because they've given developers the canvas to do it, and they've not even made it compulsory. They never made it compulsory. They just said, "Hey, go ahead and experiment. And that experimentation has led to developers wanting to really sit down and think about how they approach interactivity and gameplay experiences with this, and you're seeing it happen. Developers get super excited about talking about how they've implemented certain things for how they've been able to map features and certain sensations and feelings of the DualSense and 3D audio within that within a PlayStation 5 game or in their native app. So like yeah, man, I got to give Sony the A+. Again, the Switch, the so like those features are there. The HD rumble is there and whatnot, but it is not used. It's not used compulsory by every dev, and it more or less feels rudimentary. So like the features that they're giving off, I guess they just released the new hardware for and only Metroid Dread really utilizes the OLED screen quite well. So no, I'm giving Nintendo a D, and Microsoft I'm giving them a D as well, because most of their features most of the hardware features that developers are using is more or less ported and uh, made use for simplicity. It's marginally improved over the Xbox, over the previous gen, and to me, playing on an Xbox Series S feels like playing on a slightly more refined PlayStation 4 Plus, PlayStation 4 Pro. It feels a little bit more. So like, Sony's in the lead with this one, in my opinion.
Facts. And also the thing with Xbox Series X is it's held back by the previous consoles. I mean, whereas PS5, yeah, there are cross-gen titles with the PS4, but that's still only two architectures really that are considered. I guess PS4 Pro is included, but that's the same architecture to the PS4. Whereas,
Right.
And on top of that, it has its exclusives, whereas Xbox Series X has yet. It is yet to have. I mean, Forza Horizon, as beautiful as it looks, it has the same visuals on Xbox One X. So it's like there isn't really a leap there from previous gen. So yeah, no, I agree. I agree. The utilization of the hardware is being used to the full that it can be with PS5, but will only get better and better as time goes on. I think we're going to see games that really take advantage of the lower end of the GPU, like with the geometry engine and stuff like that. Further down the line, on top of the fact that you've got the DualSense being fully utilized in creative ways. It's really exciting, exciting times. And props where props is due. Sony have given that their console is like a toy box for devs. It offers so much freedom that I don't see the same kind of freedom with the Xbox Series X, and certainly not the Switch, because it's 5 years old now. It's old hardware. But no, it's all good stuff. So I think, in short, to wrap this up, I mean...
Wait, what about me? What about me?
Oh, go on, Will. I'm so
out.
sorry, I keep doing it. Fuck.
You also haven't gotten it from... You also haven't really heard much from Akira as well in terms of that.
My bad, guys. Thanks for steering me. I've in my defense, I've been in bed most of the day. I've not been well, so I'm sorry I'm not with it. Apologies, Wilhelm.
Oh man, my headset now may die. It's low on batteries. If that's the case, then I'll join in with my phone. But as long as that's not the case, I will try to get my point across fast. For me, the difficulty in judging that now is for one, we have two consoles with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, which are very early in their life, you know. People are still playing around, trying things out, and it will take a while till they can fully utilize those consoles' functions. While with the Switch, we have a console which is around, which has been around for years, and we sort of already, seen the things this machine is capable of, the things that this machine can offer, which is I think why the future will be so interesting because for one, the Switch as a concept itself, the hybrid between handheld and home console is quite interesting and quite a great one. It's just it just works. I can't personally imagine how Nintendo's stepping away from that because I don't know, it just works. It just works. That concept is just like Todd Howard would say, it just works.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want though, what I can imagine though, and what I hope for is that they'd release a stronger version, like that Switch Pro, like only that, only that way we could tickle more, we could tickle more out of hardware capability and all that. Go on, DZ. Go on. You wanted to say something
I was
about
gonna
that?
say, yeah, I was gonna say the problem with that, even if they release a Switch Pro, the shackles of the hardware are still tied to the lowest common denominator, which would be the Switch Lite or the Switch in and of itself. So a 4K Switch wouldn't really benefit so much because wouldn't really benefit much thing else
Game
because
design.
it would still be low end games running at a 4K resolution, right? Um, for the Switch Pro to be something that stands out, you would need dedicated software that exploits the Switch Pro and the Switch Pro alone and is not catered to running on just the Switch. And that's the problem. When you work on something uh, for that purpose of satiating the high end and the low end, you come up with a situation that Microsoft is in where you got to straddle both lines, or like the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 4 Pro. Like I would have loved to see Horizon Zero Dawn that didn't have to be constrained to the PlayStation 4 and take full advantage of the of the hardware that the Pro was, but like because we don't have dedicated hardware and stuff like that, we can't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
it's
True.
very, very true. It's a great point. I do hope that instead of bringing the Switch Pro out, they do to the Switch what they did to the Wii U, and just end the production of that console and no longer kind of focus on that console. And the Switch Pro is a different name, maybe. Maybe
Yeah,
the
or
Switch
just a
2.
different generation.
Yeah,
Different generation.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a new generation, and it's literally its own thing. Even if it copies the Switch and it's the Switch 2, at least
Yeah.
make it stand alone.
Yeah.
And so it's not got a cock block stuck with it,
Oh,
and
exactly.
let's face it, Xbox One is one big ass ugly cock block to the Xbox Series.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
so yeah, no, facts. I agree. And yourself, Akira? Oh, I think has he gone?
Akira?
Are you
Is he
there?
in?
He's still here on Discord, but I think he's away.
Hello.
Uh,
Uh,
He's
You might have
he's gone into a spaces. let's talk about Woolly's podcast, Spaces.
No. No, sorry, I was watching the Spider-Man TV spot. Sorry about that.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. Oh shit, there's a new TV spot out.
Yeah, there are like 7 of them actually.
Oh shit, I need to hear that. I need to watch that.
Yeah.
So
Spider-Man No Way Home TV spot. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on how the hardware is utilized?
Again, like I said a while ago, PlayStation utilized it the best compared to the other two. That's all I'm gonna say.
Facts. Yeah.
Utilized the best compared to the other.
It's pretty obvious, really, isn't it? With that, I mean, we spoke about the Xbox Series consoles being held back, and it's not the case with the PS5 because it's not. There are some games that are being made also for the PS4, but there are games dedicated for the PS5 and being made natively. So on top of that, with the DualSense and everything else, it's all pretty solid and exciting what the future holds. So no, I agree. I think overall scores, I think it's pretty unanimous. We kind of give the edge to PS5, but in some cases, Xbox Series X has scored higher in terms of infrastructure, and Nintendo Switch scored higher in terms of software, just about for the first year. But I think overall, PS5 is king because it kind of offers everything, and scores consistently high in everything. If it's not the best, it's pretty darn close to the best, in everything. So, no, I 100% agree with that. And it, and that we didn't even consider the value of PS Plus and PS Now combined. I mean, you look at what PS Plus and PS Now offer, it's crazy. And all for as little as £8 a month in total when you're paying for both. You can get both for £8 a month on average, or by buying the a year's worth of both for. I was able to buy a year's PS Plus for £30 and a year's PS Now for $35.99. So that's for me £70. But I've seen deals in America, US dollars, for $30 for a year. And so you're looking at $60 to $70 for both PS Plus and PS Now. It's crazy, crazy value.
Agreed.
Facts. So, yeah, I think we should call it there, guys. It's been a good show. It's been a good 2 hours.
Don't forget the giveaway.
Don't forget the giveaway. Oh shit! Thank you for reminding me, guys. I'm sorry I'm so sorry. I forget. Shout out to again Demetrius for not only his win on landing a copy of Metroid, but a huge thank you to him also for afterwards wanting to thank us, the podcast. It was DZ's generosity. He donated that game for the win. So thank you to DZ also for that. Extremely generous of you, my bro. I'm grateful. And to thank DZ and the podcast, as he's an avid listener. He's donated $25 voucher. And I've matched that with my own $25 US voucher. We will provide a US sterling giveaway next time, I promise, for those in the UK. So that's $50 of PSN vouchers up for grabs. Now, how do we go about this? How do we go about selecting a lucky winner? That is the question, because I don't do favoritism, and I don't want you guys to worry about favoritism.
No. I particularly love the random act of kindness and just picking somebody. So like in this case, I would love to see some people randomly share. If you're not following us on Twitter, follow us and just randomly tweet about one thing about a thing about our topic that we discussed. and if we see it, and we'll just select somebody randomly. But you literally just got to follow us and follow the podcast and do
Great.
that tweet, and we'll go about it that way.
Facts. And don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe.
Tell us something about your favorite panel moments. Some of your favorite Vilimovsky moments.
I love it. Yeah, Wilhelm is the comic relief, 100%. So yeah, no, that's a great idea. Guys, get your asses on Twitter. Tweet this out. Tag Company of Gamers, DZ, or myself, or Will. That our names,
Akira as well,
and Akira.
as well.
Our
Yeah.
handles are all below in the description below. I've got it written down in the description below. So please, absolutely do that, and we will be 100%.
Watching.
What about people who don't really use Twitter? That's what the Forgetful Gamer has asked.
Then write your favorite Vilimovsky moments in the comments below.
Then
Yeah, I want to make it fair. I definitely want to make it fair for the people who don't have a Twitter.
Okay.
See, yeah, that makes it much more difficult. But because we interact almost exclusively via Twitter, so you just gotta get with us.
You gotta get with the system, bro.
Yeah, you gotta get with us on Twitter.
You got to conform.
You gotta conform, yeah. I mean, we'll want to expand it more, but I think for this one, in the scope of everything, it'll be much easier for us to track everything through Twitter. So, join a Twitter.
Combo Smurf for the Forgetful Gamer, then you are already a winner. Twitter is a shithole. I love it. I love it. You ain't wrong, Compost Smurf. You ain't wrong. I hear you.
Twitter's entertaining.
But listen, what I will say is I won't forget. Ironically, you Forgetful Gamer. We will keep you in mind, and we will definitely be sure to maybe leave a comment below as to what you particularly enjoyed about this show, what you enjoyed, or what was your favorite episode so far of the Company of Gamers podcast, and why. Feel free to leave a comment below explaining that. We'll give it up to tomorrow should we do the giveaway for tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll do the giveaway for tomorrow. We'll announce it Monday evening, so to speak.
But I remember everyone who's been here tonight. I won't forget any of you. Ultra Mega, CJ, Compost, Buck, all of you guys. Who are you? 5. Awesome to see new faces here. So yeah, be sure to subscribe, drop us a comment to remind me of you guys as well, so I don't forget anyone. And we'll be 100%. We'll keep you in mind as well as those on Twitter. So definitely do that. Who are you? Yes, there's a giveaway. There's a $50 US PSN voucher giveaway. So we'll be giving it away by tomorrow. We'll announce a winner. So be sure to do what DZ recommends. Let us know in the comments below on YouTube or on Twitter your favorite episode or your favorite part of tonight's episode and
Our
why.
favorite Vilimovsky moment.
And your favorite Vilimovsky moment. I love it. My favorite Vilimovsky moment is when you said, I'm trying to remember what you said about resurrecting a dead cow or a dead horse.
Dead horse, yeah.
Yeah, it's like not meaning to beat a dead horse, but this dead horse keeps resurrecting itself, so I'm going to beat it again. Something like that. It was hilarious. I feel for Buck, man. He's just so old school. He just does not do the internet. It's sad, man. If I could book, I would. Not in that way though. That sounded so wrong. But yeah, no, stay awesome, guys. We'll announce the winner tomorrow. And yes, who are you? You have got to start the stream from the beginning. Then that is the point. That is the point, my dude. You got with the program. I love it. But stay awesome. Whatever you game on, keep it gaming as always. Don't, whichever platform you prefer, all the more power to you. I've enjoyed this episode and this breakdown, trying to do the year one review justice, and it's been, it's been pretty respectable.
We'll make this a yearly thing.
100%.
Yeah, I say we should make this a year. We should make this a yearly thing. We do good. 100%. We do good to review each year and whatnot. So like, it'd be good too to have a giveaway on these kind of occasions and whatnot. So
100%. I'm gonna keep the giveaways quite regular. I obviously can't spend an absolute fortune on them until I'm at 1,000 subs, that is, and everybody's super chatting me, But no,
yeah.
On a serious note, but I will keep them as regular as I can. And so far we've had 3 giveaways. So for the 16th episode, that ain't too bad. Ain't too bad.
Yeah.
And we'll keep them coming. And yeah, so thank you to everybody who's watched tonight. It's been awesome. Love you all. And wish you all a very pleasant evening. I don't know whether to say young out or stay salty or what. I haven't got my own tagline yet, I don't know. Keep, as always, stay Villamovsky. Stay Charlie Sheen. Keep it Deezy. Keep it woolly. And play Lost Judgment.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's all I'll say. That's a bit of homage to everybody. And yeah, we love you. Stay awesome. Peace out. Oh, by the way, before we go, where can we find? I haven't even asked the panel. Where can we find you, Deezy? Where can we find you, my guy?
You could find me at sir.s_Deezy on Twitter. And yeah, that's where you know how to find me.
Fantastic.
I'm busy doing stuff, busy trying to make moves for the future, but yeah.
Mate, you keep that. I'm excited for you, bro. I'm excited for you.
Me too.
And it's not just because you're handsome, I'm excited. Akira's gone. I don't know where Akira's gone, but you can find Akira. Look at his handle down below. You can find him at literally, I'll scroll down, Akira092421 on Twitter. Be sure to give him a follow. He's always in the spaces. And Wilhelm, where can we find you, my guy?
You can also find me on Twitter at @MaximusWilhelm. Yeah, it's big breaking news. I've seen everybody talking about it.
He's on Twitter now.
Yeah. Finally, after being at the Shadow Realm for so many years.
Stay woolly and warm. Ultra Mega's trying to give me taglines here. I love it. Yeah.
And else, the only thing I can say is I still invite Chris O'Neill, Ding Dong, and Julian from Only Plays and Wan Games to the show. Please just come. I don't want to tag him. I'm not worthy of tagging them. And if you need me, I'm at the parking lot looking for work. As long as Salty doesn't still recruit me or something.
I love it. How about keep it woolly, guys? Keep it woolly. Maybe, I don't know. It sounds a bit cheesy. I mean, keep it woolly. What does that even mean? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
What does that even?
I'm trying to figure out something for it, but we'll get it. We'll figure it out.
With you, it's easy. It's like keep it breezy, keep it deezy, keep it easy. Yeah, I don't know. But for me, it's like
I'm a guest speaker on this pod. I'm a guest panelist.
Yeah.
Right. So this is obviously yours. So It's the Worldwide Gamers podcast, so we just gotta,
I'm gonna call you Wilhelm Evilhelm Knievelm.
Oh wow!
Evil Knievel, Evilhelm.
Yeah.
But for me, my name's Wooly. That's why I'm called Wooly Gamer. That's my surname, so I don't really know. Maybe game till it puts hairs on your chest. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah,
The
guys,
batteries of my headset just died.
no problem. That's our cue. Again, guys, giveaway tomorrow. Stay tuned. We will announce the winner by 8 p.m. UK. So 8 p.m. UK time or 3 p.m. Eastern time will be the cutoff point. So stay tuned for that. We will announce the winner. I will post the winner on my YouTube as well as Twitter. But much love to all of you. Stay awesome. And yeah, Young out.
All right.